So in this Q&A, is it a bad idea to open a trade the evening before? Okay, so you've seen the question there, and first of all, there's a couple of standout problems with this. So it's not necessarily that placing a trade the evening before is a bad thing or a problem. It's the reasons that you do that. Now, first of all, it's a tricky kind of scenario placing a trade the evening before unless you've got extra information that's not available elsewhere, purely because there's very little data on offer. There's not so much money that's traded within the markets. The wisdom of the crowd isn't showing itself. There isn't a huge amount of opinion that you can then sort of analyse within the market in terms of match money. Also, there's multiple things that can change. I mean, the further you are away from post time, the more can actually change within the market. You know, there could be extra news released, there could be another horse within the market being backed, which is obviously a problem because if another horse at a different price, maybe an outsider for example, is backed, that will change the composition of runners nearer the front of the market. And obviously there's a scale issue as well. So I mean, like worse still, like if you're trading from the evening before and you check on your trade in the morning and it's actually going wrong, you've not got a lot of liquidity within the market there to actually exit your position, meaning you chase away your edge even further, therefore giving away money. So that is kind of like the problems with trading from the evening before. However, I mean, if you had the right information, then it could be beneficial in the sense that you knew something that the market doesn't yet know. However, that also you need to actually be able to identify whether it's a good price, even if you have got that information. So now that I've kind of like said the problematic issues with that, I think that it's more important that I kind of like address it's kind of like the way you should be looking at it if you were thinking about trading from the evening before or even early in the morning. Okay, so the first thing to say, and I think I've already addressed it a little bit there, is you should wait for a bit more information to be publicly available within the market. For example, traded money. Now, I've said it before, the number one feed, if ever there is one, will be the market, because money talks, people are greedy. First thing they do before releasing information or anything like that is think for themselves and place money. So that the most live, up-to-date feed you're ever likely to get will be the market. So allow that data to kind of build up, allow some information to build up, and I would say if you're going to trade early, you don't really want to be doing it far before the live shows in the morning. So live shows usually start around about 10:30. By about 11 o'clock in most cases, there's enough money within a market to have some kind of opinion. Also, aside from waiting for the live shows, you sort of want to sit and make sure that you're only offering money. Obviously it's a good thing to be doing no matter what we're trading or how we're trading, but if you're trading from the morning to the afternoon particularly, you want to make sure you offer money in the market at a valuable price to you rather than the market, because again, if it turns, you've got the scalability issues there, which is also something else that should probably talk about in a second. The second point that I want to make there is you want to have a really good reason for having a trade, and it's something that comes up time and again, and I think people that are new to trading often miss this first time round, is you need to have an edge, you need an advantage within the market. What you've said in your question there about the jockey and being a first race, that is not an edge. You're going to bang your head against the wall every single time if you're looking at placing a trade based on which jockey is riding on horse. Jockeys are not what move markets. There is the odd occasion where maybe say a jockey's on a treble or they're about to have their quadruple runner where they've won the last three, and the price will plummet because of all the all the liability that's spread out there in the betting industry, finding its way back to the exchange. But aside from that, you can't place trades based on jockeys in the morning, and if you do, then it's something that I'm completely unaware of, but I certainly wouldn't do it. So I mean, that's kind of like in line with the verdicts in the racing post and stuff. It's just someone else's opinion. It's just a piece of information. There's not really anything behind it substantial. I guess if you wanted to sort of nitpick and look out there, you might be able to find situations where a certain trainer has changed the jockey because they think the horse has got a better chance. Whether that's then found as a positive thing within the market, I don't know. It's not something I've actually explored, and I doubt it would be of use. Typically, you want to have a combination of reasons for opening or closing any particular trade, forming your edge or advantage over the market. It's something to talk about in the trading guide quite a lot. So yeah, just make sure that you've got a specific reason for actually having that trade, which is better than I thought that, you know, it was a jockey and it was in the first race, and the price would come in, because that's not a reason that prices move. Obviously, I've just given you one example there with the jockeys on a treble or a quadruple winning spree. That would be, you know, potentially information that would help you having some kind of edge over the market, providing you're actually one of the quickest ones to react to that information as well. Third point is just to say that you need to adapt to the situation. So regardless of whether it's morning trading, trading the evening before, or even trading in the live shows, you always need to adapt to the situation, because you have to fit around the market. The market's going to do its own thing regardless. You need to accept that and make that part of your trading strategy, to sort of deal with the unknowns that unfold within the market. Because, like I said, further away from post, the less we know about the market. Closest time to post is obviously, you know, starting point is when it's markets is most efficient. It's when the market's best informed. It's when everybody's had their 10 penneth and put, you know, money's gone into the market, and the prices have actually bounced around and found where they should be, and sort of settled. And the final thing to say would be, if other runners are backed within the market, you need to be quite quick to respond to that, particularly earlier on. That is something that catches people out when they trade in the mornings, and potentially, I mean, that's part of the problem as well, because if a horse is back that you didn't expect within the market, it changes the situation. And if you're not regularly checking and updating your position and coming back and checking again and again and again, then the chances are you're going to miss it, and you're actually going to, you know, you're going to lose some money because of that. So, I mean, I'm not a massive fan of trading far before. There's usually 1 or 2 decent opportunities each day in the morning to sort of get a slightly longer term trade. Although, like I say, I wouldn't be entering the market until, you know, the end of the live shows, around about 10:30, about 11 o'clock in most cases. So, question for you guys: have you had any success with trading from the evening before? If you have, drop it in the comments below. Don't claim to know absolutely everything about trading, and you know, every day is a learning day, so it's always good to hear what other people have to say. Occasionally there's little snippets of good bit of information in there, so join in the debate below.